I want to begin today with a question that may leave you scratching your head for a moment, thinking, where is this Carter guy going? The question is, do you ever think of your emotional pain as a gift? You may be thinking, did he say that correctly? A gift? It's like, yeah. Now, over 30, maybe 35 years ago, I read a book by a Dr. Paul Brand, who's no longer with us, but the book was called Pain, the Gift Nobody Wants. We tend to assume that a world without pain would be utopia, but Dr. Brand says actually that life without pain could really hurt you. Now, where he's coming from is this. He was a British medical doctor, and he spent much of his time in India, and then he came over to the United States, and he specialized in the treatment of leprosy, or now as it's called, Hansen's disease. And a unique feature of leprosy is that its recipients or its patients would actually lose their sensation of pain especially in their extremities. And many times the lack of their pain sensations would lead to some very disastrous consequences. As an example, he talked about how one man had been to his clinic and he had leprosy in the lower part of his body. He stepped off a curb, twisted his ankle very badly, felt no pain, uprighted himself and kept going. And then weeks later when he came back, gangrene, infection in the form of gangrene had settled into his lower part of his leg, and he actually had to lose the lower part of his leg. That man would have given anything to have felt pain. Pain is your body's alert system. Pain is basically your body's way of saying, something here is not right. Pay attention. So what's the message that it's trying to send to you? Now, as a therapist, I don't deal in the same physiological pain or the world as Dr. Brand would have, but I hear many people in here in my counseling office who go through a great deal of relationship and emotional pain because of the narcissist, the controlling, insensitive, condescending individuals in their life. And I too want to ask the question, what's going on here? What is the pain trying to tell us? And let's make sure that we listen very carefully so that we can use the pain to our advantage and take it into a right kind of direction. Now, as we look at this topic, there are 5 basic questions that I want you to consider. And these are, each one of them in their own right is hopefully a very thought-provoking kind of a question. The first question, as you think about the emotional pain that you experience with your narcissist, is what's triggering my pain? Now, we could come up with many different subcategories on that one, couldn't we? Your pain is triggered by insults, or by the anger that's thrown in your direction, by harshness, by the lack of cooperation that the narcissist maintains toward you, by their dishonesty. You might be triggered, your pain might be triggered by the fact that you've been sabotaged by the narcissist. That narcissist can be highly controlling over you. They may have hatred and disdain toward you. And each of those kind of triggers is there, and it's creating pain because there's one basic thought that we're going to go with, and that is, you were made for none of that. And so you've been introduced to these kinds of ingredients and these kind of behavioral patterns that you certainly do not deserve and you were not made for. And as a result, you react on the inside of yourself. A second question, and that is, how does this emotional pain impact you? Now, again, there are many different subcategories there. You can be impacted by experiencing ongoing anxiety, depression. It may be that you struggle with feelings of futility and hopelessness. Sometimes you are impacted by your own anger. You wind up just being have a lot of struggle with other individuals, a lot of frustration and tension on the inside. Sometimes it goes to the place of bitterness and resentment. Sometimes you just feel confused, like, I don't even know which way is up anymore. I say one thing and that pain inducer narcissist over there says something entirely different. It could be that the pain impacts you with biochemical imbalances, and we've talked about that in some other videos. It may impact you by virtue of you just saying, forget it, and then you go into a withdrawal mode. Now, this third question, and this is a really large one that I want you to consider, is what is my pain trying to tell me? It's one thing to say, I hate it when they do this to me. This narcissist is making my life miserable. Miserable, that's another word for pain. Okay, got that. Listen to what your pain is saying. Now, the way I look at it is if you're engaging with that narcissistic person who's doing all those triggering kinds of behaviors and you respond with these reactions of pain, one of the first things your pain is trying to tell you is this: I deserve respect. It's not coming my way, but respect is what I deserve. That's a good message. Listen to it. Another message your pain is trying to tell you, and that is goodness and decency matter. You wouldn't be feeling pain if you didn't have that core belief. Listen to what it's trying to say to you. Another thing that your pain is trying to tell you: I need to take a different path. It would be kind of strange if you had pain because of your involvement in certain behavior patterns and you just kept going back to the same thing, saying, I guess I'll keep doing that. No, the pain is saying, let's go a different way. This isn't working well. I need to take a different path. Another thing that the pain is trying to tell you is when this person is being controlling, it doesn't work for me. I reject being controlled and dominated by someone else. Listen to that message. It's a good one. Or another message your pain is trying to tell you, and that is, I find selfish people to be toxic. I don't need that person's toxins inside my mind and my soul and my spirit. Are you listening to what your pain is trying to tell you? Now, another question, question number 4, and this is a really large one, and that is, are you putting the narcissist in charge of making your emotional pain go away? That sounds kind of crazy to think of it that way, but how many times, because actually they're the one that's creating the very thing that you wanted to get rid of, but how many times do you think to yourself, well, you've got to quit this, and you go into convincing and pleading mode and argumentative mode, and you try to tell them all the many different things that they need to do differently? How many times do they say, well, now that you put it that way, I really would like to be a part of your personal healing? They won't do that. They actually find a great delight by keeping you in pain because in its own way, that's their power source. It's pretty twisted thinking, isn't it? Are you letting that person be in charge or wishing that person could be in charge of making your pain go away? That's insanity. You need to stop that. And then a 5th question that I want you to focus on, and that is, so where is my pain wanting to direct me toward? That's a good question. And I'm hoping first and foremost your pain is saying, hey, let's find out where Team Healthy is. Let's go there. I want to have a better way. There's got to be something better than this. Let's go find it. I like that message. Or the pain is trying to direct you toward what we call homeostasis, balance inside your personal life. When you're with that narcissistic individual, you stay off balance. You feel like you're off your game and you're not being the regular you. You want to have a balance in your life where you have your time alone, you have your time with other individuals, you have your time where you can laugh and encourage and enjoy. You need your time where you can contemplate. You need time of social. You need time of isolation. Homeostasis, balance, that's where your pain is saying you need to go. Or in addition, your pain is also trying to direct you into a place of self-preservation. You need to do a good job of taking care of yourself. And it also may be saying to you, I need to make sure that I individualize my good life as opposed to waiting for that person in front of me who's the pain inflictor to get his or her act together. Are you listening? Are you listening to the message that the pain is trying to give to you? So I want to summarize with a few thoughts here, and we're going to go back and underscore. The pain inflictor that strongly narcissistic individual is not the person that you need to look toward to give you comfort. That person doesn't have it in them. They delight in disarray. They delight in keeping you in a place of upheaval. And so I'm hoping that you're going to listen to the pain's message and you're going to focus in on the key traits that it's wanting to take you toward. Self-respect, boundaries, assertiveness, separation from the one who brings the affliction, connection with peacemakers. The pain is a gift, if you can think of it in that way. It's trying to take you towards a good place. If you had no pain and the narcissist kept pounding you with all of their improprieties, then you'd just be nothing but an ineffective person. The fact, though, that you do respond in the way that you do says, I need to listen. I need to pay attention to what my mind and my emotions are trying to tell me, and I am going to be determined to go into a different direction. So let's conclude with this thought. You can turn the tables as you listen to what your pain says, and then as you respond with the basic notion that says, my healing will come as I remove myself from the one who's generating this pain, and as I listen instead to my own yearning for peace. I find that to be a very legitimate message. Peace is what you deserve. Peace is where you can go. Now, I do hope that you get benefit from discussions such as this, and I really do appreciate when you allow me to be a part of your journey. That book years ago made a major impact on my way of thinking, and I hope that you can learn to listen to what's going on inside of yourself and then take yourself to the place that you need and deserve to go. If you have not already done so, I would invite you to go beneath and hit that subscribe button. We'll keep you apprised of more videos. We have a website that has additional articles and quizzes and videos and promotions that I hope that you'll find to be useful. survivingnarcissism.tv. If you'd like to unpack some of your issues, some of this pain with a counselor who can help walk you through that. And in today's day and age, it may be that you'll find seeking counseling in the comfort of your own home via the internet may be the best way for you to go right now. We have a link below that will help you in that respect. If you need some online at-home testing for chemical imbalances, we have links below for that. And then we also have my online workshops, my books, and even coffee mugs. You have pain, and rather than saying, I want this pain to go away, what we're going to say is, in this broken world, you need to have the pain so that it will take you to that better place. Listen to what it's saying to you. Appreciate what it's doing for you with the idea that says, as you do go to that better place, then you'll have less need for it. That's the game plan. As you go, I wish for you decency. I wish for you homeostasis, balance. I wish for you peace.